Fullerton residents will once again hear the clang of drilling equipment in their backyards as retesting of the McColl chemical dump begins. News Check's Deborah Manning has the latest on this continuing problem.
Officials from both state and local health departments called this morning's press conference to announce Phase 2 of a series of tests on the McColl dump site. The abandoned chemical dump in Fullerton will get $1 million worth of chemical analysis for the next 4 months. Officials say these tests will more precisely determine exactly how dangerous the refinery wastes have become since they were buried here 40 years ago. But at least $1 million has already been spent in testing. Earlier analysis showed the presence of several hazardous chemicals, including arsenic, as well as flammable levels of gas. Residents have waited for 2 years for someone to clean up the dump. The owner ran out of money long ago, and the McColl dump ranks low on the federal Superfund list for cleanup money. Jim Stoller from the State Health Department says the state is now counting on help from several oil companies, which dumped on the site years ago when it was legal. What is the bottom line on that, though? Are they going to help clean up? Are they going to do the cleanup themselves, or what?
This is something that's yet to be discussed. The only phase we're into now is to make sure that we have a total understanding of everything on the site. That phase of it we have not gotten into.
But homeowners are getting very fidgety, and last week they got a real scare when 600 catfish died in Los Coyotes Regional Park, just west of the dump. The county closed the park for several days after 2 chemicals were found in the dead fish, xylene and mercury. Bob Merriman from the county is keeping the lake closed, but reopened the rest of the park yesterday. And he says he's satisfied that the McColl dump had nothing to do with the fish kill.
The catfish died of a host-specific parasite. The concentrations of xylene are infinitesimal, and there's a small amount of mercury, and there's really no hazard at all to the public, and that's why we opened the park up yesterday.
But it is a little bit strange that you're finding such things as mercury and xylene in that water. How do you account for that?
Well, I think the mercury can be accounted for because it's used as an herbicide, and mercury is also used in pesticides. As far as the xylene goes, it can be a solvent used in many different methods, and it has been used in the past in some herbicides. So it could have been simply a combination of xylene and mercury used as a herbicide, and then the very low concentrations were washed into the rain.
So Phase 2, the actual soils testing of the McColl dump site, will begin sometime next week in Fullerton. Exactly when Phase 4, the actual cleanup, begins is anybody's guess. Reporting from Santa Ana, Deborah Manning, News Check.
Many homeowners say they're resigned to the slow progress of cleanup. They just want it done.